How does one go from this to this? Or from this to this? Real people, real transformations. Amazing life-changing results are achieved every day at O-Skin Med Spa. Let Miss O show you the way. Your very own before and after experience awaits. Call now for a free consultation. Visit oskinmedspa.com for more details.
What's up, y'all? It's your Pada KL Noah Lazarus of Q York, and I'm inviting everyone out there out to Mick Diaz Presents Jam Sessions featuring yours truly, my group, Q York, this Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and May 15th, Saturday, 11 a.m. Philippines time, live streaming to you via Facebook, Kumu, YouTube. You tune in. See y'all there. It's gonna be on and popping. Ow!
Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday night, and it's another night of Who is Cali here at Nick Diaz Presents. And tonight, it's just me, but I do have 6 guests with me tonight, and they're our Fil-Am actors who are making waves in Hollywood and in the entertainment industry. And before anything, I want to thank our sponsors, of course, and we have Miss Olivia Quito Co. She's the owner of O Skin Care and Med Spa, and they're the official skincare of the 69th Miss Universe that's happening on Sunday in Miami, Florida. We also have Formula M Creatives, FATCHO, the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce Hollywood, who supports the artist community and arts practitioners like us. And of course, we have a few good things happening this week. So tomorrow, we have Q York. It's a super duo music group of Flava-Matics and Noah Lazarus. So it's going to be their second time in our show. And I just wanted to tell everyone that there's actually a pop-up coming up this Saturday. It's called the Foodies Favorites Pop-Up. And there are 15 vendors, and 4 of them are non-food vendors, but the rest of them are food vendors, and it's your favorite food vendors from the SoCal Fil-Am groups on Facebook. And we do have a stamp rally, so there's going to be a stamp card raffle happening. And if you get like up to 13 stamps, you'll get the first prize entry. And I just wanted to remind everybody that on Sunday, Marcy Taylor, who's actually a board member of the Fil-Am Arts, is going to have a show. It's called Maganda at Malakas, and it's in partnership with Fil-Am Arts, and it's going to be shown at 6 o'clock on Sunday, May 16th on the Fil-Am Arts Facebook page. And on June, we have the Jam Sessions Live, which is our very, very first live concert that's happening at the Noi Pits in Little Tokyo in downtown Los Angeles. And we have Garth Garcia, Marlon D, Chella, and Jules King is headlining that night. And that's also in collaboration with the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce Hollywood. And we do it is a fundraiser, and we do have raffles, and each raffle ticket is $2, and that's to support our artist community, like our artists that we have tonight, our actors. And so those are all of my announcements. And tonight I want to introduce to you our guests, and our very first guest. Oh my gosh, she's already a ball of fire. She's Giovannie Espiritu, and she was nominated as Best Supporting Actress alongside with Academy Award nominee Alfred Woodard and Amy Irving at Method Fest, and her credits include ER, Bones, Gilmore Girls, Perfect Harmony, and she stars as Jin, a genderqueer Lothario, in the top-rated LGBTQ series Dyke Central on Amazon. And her film Ally 3000 has won over 12 awards on the film festival circuit for script writing. So let's all bring in Giovannie. And before I forget, hashtag live if you're watching live, and hashtag replay if you're watching replay, and hashtag actors.
Hi!
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. Magandang gabi to everybody that's on the, stateside, and magandang umaga to everybody that's watching from the Philippines. So thanks for having me.
Yes, and tonight I learned something new from Giovannie herself, right?
What you learn? Oh yeah, this is.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a linglingo. It's an anting that I bought from an Etsy shop. So I was like, I should wear it tonight because to represent, Pinoy pride and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're being the super Pinay that you are tonight.
Right? I'll be like Dharma.
Well, once you wear that, right? And so our next guest that we're bringing in is Rhandy Torres. And oh my gosh, like I was saying earlier, like every week he has like a new video of something new, like a new film that he's working on or starring in, like every single week. But that's really good. I mean, that means he's really busy. And he's a Filipino American actor who's born in Manila, Philippines. And guess what? He has a degree in respiratory therapy. And we'll find out how he got into acting, right? And he has actually landed a starring role in the Fil-Am indie feature called The Year I Did Nothing in 2019, of which I think like 5 of our guests are in. And he and that movie garnered numerous awards in the festival, independent film festival circuit as well. And he followed it up with a featured role in South Central Love. And my goodness, he has so many credits, and we will ask him ourselves, like, and let him tell it himself. So let's bring in Rhandy. Hi, Rhandy. Oh, you're mute.
Okay.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone who's watching for hanging out with us tonight. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. So don't leave.
Yeah, stick around, everybody. We actually have a raffle towards the end of our show. And our next guest, oh my goodness. So she's an actress, teacher, and host. And my gosh, she's also a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful singer. And this mother of 4 can actually change her voice, because she's also a voiceover artist, and she believes in spreading love and kindness in this world. Let's all welcome Noreen. Hi, Noreen.
Hi.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited.
Yes, I am so excited because this is a fun bunch right here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I get to meet Giovannie. Everybody else, you got The Year I Did Nothing. I know. And then Missy is a family friend. So I'm excited. It's a great group.
It's like going out, hanging out with your old friends, right, Noreen?
Oo, ganun nga.
Yeah. And speaking of old friends, the next guest that we're going to bring up is a friend to everybody. Like, everyone knows him, right? He's got to be part of every panel there is, and rightfully so. So he's a member of SAG-AFTRA for more than 35 years, and he has appeared in many films and commercials. But that's not how he started his career. He was actually in the US Air Force, and he used his GI Bill to take some acting classes at the Strasberg Acting Academy in LA. And so he actually took a long break from acting, and until he was casted in The Flip Side by director Rod Pulido, and the first Fil-Am movie that was accepted in the Sundance Film Festival. And then after that, he was cast in the movie Debut by Jean Cahayon, and then he's been acting ever since. So let's all welcome the legendary one and only Mr. Abe Pagtama.
Magandang gabi ho sa inyong lahat. Good evening to everybody. And yes, I'm trying to change the color of my hair because I'm no longer a millennial. So anyway, yeah, thank you for having me tonight, and I'm really enjoyed talking to you guys. And I had so much stories to tell you, especially for the people that want to make it in Hollywood. Salamat.
Yes, and we will find out from the expert of the house, right? Expert in-house, which is Mr. Abe Pagtama.
I just have the experience. I'm not an expert. Otherwise, I'll be having all these nice roles. But I enjoy it, and I like to share whatever experience that I have in Hollywood and also in the Philippines, because I acted in the Philippines. So. Kaya yes, mga kaibigan ko sa Pilipinas, manood tayo. You never know, you might come to Hollywood and I might be working with you.
Yes, and speaking of Filipinas, we are on Kumu. So yung mga taga Filipinas, hello to everybody. Hi to everyone who's watching us from the Philippines. Our next guest is also a friend to everyone. And my gosh, how surprising, because so many people know him as well. He's kind of like the Abe Jr. in terms of like people, like a lot of people really know him, right? So our next guest is no other than Lyndon Apostol, and he's a professional event singer, dance teacher, Tagalog English vocal coach, and he's also a break dancer. Yes, and he writes, and he writes music, he sings, he's a singer songwriter, and he has a really good voice because I've heard it myself. And he has worked in both stage and film, and he has taken a good balance of both protagonist and antagonist roles. And he has been nominated twice for Best Featured Actor on Broadway World for the role of Chino from West Side Story and Minsik Lee from Comfort Women. But he was actually a philosophy and English and film major at UCLA. Can you believe that? Yeah, and so we'll hear more stories from him. So let's all welcome Lyndon.
Yeah.
Hi, Lyndon.
Hello.
Did I just give away that breakdancer thing?
No, it's okay. At some point, someone asks, or can you spin on your head or whatever? No, but Abe Jr. is not too shabby. I love that. I love that. Thank you for having me, guys. And we'll have fun.
And last but not the least, we have Melissa Rodriguez, who's an actress based in Los Angeles, and she graduated with a BA degree in theater arts from San Diego State. And she is happy and proud to be part of the Filipino American film industry. And and she actually makes up like 5 members of one movie, right? Like cast members of one movie in this panel, right? Is that right? Hi, Melissa. Oh, can you unmute yourself? Hi.
There you go.
How are you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
And so, so I just found out about this, I think like yesterday, that 5 of you are part of one movie. Is that right?
4.
4.
Right.
Is that
It
right?
was supposed to be 5, pero Ina's not here. Ina was in it as well.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I could have invited like the director or something.
Right. Oh, man, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That'd be a fun one.
Oh my goodness. Yes. And so let's start with your background. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, aside from, of course, what I've already told everyone, and how you started in the acting industry? So let's start with Giovannie.
Oh, sige. I know it's such like a weird story. My origin story is so weird because I actually was in a cult in the Philippines, and part of being like I started in the Philippines and then I went to the United States, and it was part of like a doomsday biblical kind of like all preparing for the second coming of Jesus Christ, and we were like in the woods learning survival skills. And I remember only talking to telemarketers like from the outside world, and one of the telemarketers was like, "You have a really interesting voice, you should get into voiceovers." And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I will look it up on the internet. And I did. And because I was so naive, like I looked up the biggest one that came up on the ads, and that was Stars in the Bay Area. And I sent in a really ridiculous tape, not even a tape, it's like a recording to them. They actually called me in, signed me that day, sent me on my first video game audition, and I booked it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a sign from God, which is how my career started. And I would just kind of put one step in front of the other, because that actually, my husband at the time was very domestically violent, and that was something that he allowed me to do because he wasn't working and I had a kid at the time. So that was my foray into the industry. And then once I started actually making money doing it, they were like, okay, we want to send you out for on-camera stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. So then I started taking classes. That is how I started.
That is so awesome. You just mentioned something earlier, but more about that later. So we'll go to Rhandy. How did you start into? How did you get into acting? I mean, coming from a medical related field.
Yeah, ever since I was young, I always loved to act. I started doing stage plays in high school. And that's when I realized that, you know what, I think I love this, I enjoy it, and I can act. So I'm like, okay, well, if given a chance, I'd like to do it again. But I never had that chance again for so long, for so many years. But then when my dad passed away in 1998, I went to the viewing in Bulacan, and that's when I met my cousin, Mon del Rosario Torres, and it so happened that he's the executive producer of Spoop in the Philippines. So he invited me to watch the taping of Spoop. That's where I met Rufa May Quinto and all the main cast like Willie Nepomuceno, Candy Pangilinan, John Santos, Leo Martinez. And so I was just watching, but then the director, I was watching them, but then the director needed extras, like background, people. So it's like, hey, can you go over there? Can you go over there? And so the director thought that I was part of this group because there's a group of regular talents, like extras, but they're regular, like weekly they come there, and then they're from UP. Like they're from UP theater, so they're really good. They really know how to do acting, and so they asked me to join them. And so the floor director thought that I was part of that group, and so he gave me a line, and so it happened. I was able to deliver the line okay, and then the next segment, he asked me to go there again, and thinking that I'm also part of that theater group from UP, he gave me another line. And so it went smooth, it went good. And after the taping, he asked me, hey, come back again next week. And so that's how it started. So that was my first acting gig for the television show in Channel 5. It's called Spoop. And a few times I was invited to guest in Wow Malik. I don't know if you guys saw it, if you've seen it. Like it's a prank show. So a few times, I did that. It was fun. But going here in America, like years has passed that I didn't do acting because then I had to do respiratory, work the, like what my family saying, the real job. But I know at some point acting's gonna be a real job for me, hopefully. So yeah, luckily I was able to do it as well. And after doing a training in it's called Actors for Christ, I was able to book roles here and there, and yeah, that's how it started.
That is so awesome. And Noreen?
Hi! Nick, okay lang ba na Tagalog? Or
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, I grew up really loving to watch TV sa Pilipinas. I was born over there, and I used to, copy Janice de Belen, and palagi na lang, pinapanood ko yung mga teleserye with my family. So it was like always in my heart, but it was never really nurtured or really, parang pushed by my family. Kasi nga, syempre, it's not as stable and all of that. So we moved here to the States, and I joined musical theater in junior high. Tapos I did PCN skits sa college, but that was it. And then I joined an indie film right after college. And then I got married and had 4 kids. And I became a teacher instead. So, I chose a different path. But a few years ago, noong 2017, 14, I was given a chance to be in Dale Fabregar's Lullaby film. It's a horror. Merong snippet of it in my acting reel mamaya. And thank you to my friend Sheila Tejada for getting me that role. And that just brought back my love for acting. And because of that, it opened more doors for me to meet other directors. And I was able to get other roles, through that network, yung Fil-Am Creative. And then Fil-Am Creative really opened doors for me din kasi I was able to find a voice acting job there. So if you ever hear my anti-smoking commercial sa sa TFC, that's me. yung female voice, and then mental health commercial. So I feel like Fil-Am Creative really opened a lot of doors for me back then. But that's how it got started, and that's why I'm here. So if you have another job, but this is still your love, you can find a way. I guess that's what I want to say to everyone. You can find a way. You can find a balance somehow if you really want to. Yun lang.
Can I just say something real quick? I just want to say thank you to Noreen. You're really my BFF for asking if we could talk in Tagalog, because if I'm gonna do this the whole night in English, I'm probably gonna see some blood like flowing in my nose, So,
Like literally.
So salamat BFF. Pwede pala tayo mag-Tagalog eh. Okay. Okay, next.
You're welcome. Yung BFF ko si Rhandy. BFF ko talaga yan. And Missy I've known since she was a little girl. So dear people here.
And so let's go to Melissa. Missy, also known as Missy.
Missy, yes, I know. Noreen and I have known each other, we were saying, I think, for over 20 years. So it's really exciting that we're in the same panel and everything. But so I started when I was in high school. I originally wanted to be into the psychology world. So I remember it was my sophomore year of high school, but you had to be at least a junior to take psychology. So then I took drama instead, and then just stayed there forever. So I ended up majoring in theater at San Diego State, then moved to LA after that. So that was kind of a wild ride, just because as everyone knows, it's not a very stable world. So I did a lot of odd jobs. Like I could list probably 20 very interesting jobs. Nothing weird, like nothing not moral, but I just did a lot of funny like deliveries and everything. But now I have a little production company named after my dog Bandit. So it's called Bandit Filmworks. So we do just startup commercials for startup companies. So a little bit into the production world as well. So that kind of keeps things stable in between gigs. But yeah, I started with the theater and kind of just was never able to leave. I tend to love everyone, all the same kinds of wacky personalities, and just being all out there are my favorite kinds of people. So that's why we all get along here usually for the most part. So I just love the environment.
That is so cool. I mean, it's really good to know how you guys started, right? And Lyndon, Lyndon is a man of many hats. I mean, seriously.
I don't wear hats as a fact.
This is your third time on our show, like representing different kinds of fields, right? Each time.
Yeah. It's hard to say when you ask like how did you get started. I have a very standard story. I fell in love with performance. You feel alive, and there's nothing like it. And other than being a teacher, being a teacher and being on stage, kind of like for me is like there's nothing like those feelings, and so you just try to hold on to them. And actually, one of the reasons why I felt very confident going in is that I didn't love one thing. I loved a lot of things. And so, if I wasn't getting an acting gig, I'd be dancing. I have a dance gig if I'm, or there's a singing gig. And so, but a general story, I started with show choir in high school and it graduated to community theater in college. And then UCLA gave me an opportunity to be there at Royce Hall. Man, and being in there like 2,000 people in the theater and just commanding it, just really gave that confidence to go in. And I told myself, it was either law or performance. And I'm very happy to be here with you guys, I should say. Yeah.
That is so awesome. And Abe?
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I just unmute myself. How did I started? How much time do we have?
all night po, all night.
I remember I started. I guess when I was young, my dad used to, um, you know, let me perform in front of people. For a poem or something like that. So he after I did that, and she gave me money. So as a young kid, and then in high school, I have a little part in the Philippines. And it was fun, and I don't know how I did that because I don't think I was able to memorize anything. But it was fun. And then to go forward, when I got out in the Air Force, I have a GI Bill. So I don't know what to do with it. So when I got out, I worked in the post office for a while, and then start taking acting classes in Hollywood. And I started in theater arts. We're still there in the Highland, theater arts, and I also took some Strasbourg because that's what everybody said. To be an actor, you have to take classes. So I did that. Unfortunately, while I was going to acting classes, I was getting roles. So I didn't finish. So I was just working in the post office, and when I get time, I call in sick. I can't see that now because I'm retired. I call in sick from work. So I start getting a lot of work as atmosphere from Cagney and Lacey, Hunter, General Hospital. So 1 week I'm in the other one, another week I'm another one. And then I got lucky. Because I work in a Gary Shandling show. I don't know if you guys remember that. And I'm supposed to be an atmosphere or an extra, but he sent me a script. See, are you guys sure you're sending me a script? So sure, I'll take that. So I become a member of AFTRA at that time. It was separate. And I did that. And then I got bored again. So I went back to the army at this time. So there's funny things that I was in the army and somebody's calling me up to for an acting job. So I'm sorry, but I'm in Europe right now. So okay. While in Europe, I did theaters in the base, and after I got out after 3 years, then I went back. I went back to LA and I started doing some parts again. And at the time, I was able to get some rules real quick. I went back to my agent and told him, "Hey, I'm back." So he gave me a. I was doing a lot of movies at that time also. So and then my first part was it's called the Slam with Jim Brown, with the Cleveland Brown. I don't know if you remember. That's a long time ago. So I'm telling you how old I am right now. So yeah, it's a long process, and before I'll finish the whole thing, I want to give everybody a chance to talk instead of me. So it's fun, and it's a journey. And every time I talk to everybody that you want to get in acting, just make sure you have a job before you go to acting, so you can always get off and doing as a fun, because at that time it's only now that everything is opening for us. Before, it was so freaking hard to get a job. So I almost changed my name to Matsura or Chan or anything like that, because who's Pagtama? His last name Pagtama. So who could remember what kind of role I'm gonna get? And then luckily, After that, I got out, then I came back, and then I got the role from for Flip Side, and it become history. And right now, I'm still in acting. Thank you.
That is so cool. And so like everyone has different stories of how they got into acting, right? Like with Giovanni starting with voiceovers and going to Abe who started in the military. And I'm sure there were many people who inspired you or who sort of served as your mentor. So can you talk about who who or what inspired you, or were there any mentors in your life? Let's start with Giovanni.
When I first started, it was really about survival for me, honestly. It was like, I got to do this because I have a kid and this is the only thing that I know how to do. But as I went along in the industry, I've had some phenomenal mentors like Florencio Manaville, who is the director of Fiona's Script, is where I got my Best Supporting Actress nomination. She was amazing because she had a 1-year-old kid and she was a filmmaker. And I was like, wow, you can do this and be a mom and, juggle that thing. So that was a really great role model to see. Other mentors that I have a really amazing one right now named Suzanne De Laurentiis, who I work for, but I'm learning as I'm learning production stuff as I, work for her. Because like Abe was saying, like when we started in this industry, for me, it's been 17 years now. Like I'm old, like I'm old. I don't feel like I don't look that old, but Asian don't raisin. And it was really hard. And so now like my whole thing is like, okay, let's create the roles that we want to see ourselves in. Like I am so tired of being like the Asian friend or like, the nurse or whatever. Like I want to see us having fully 3-dimensional lives. I am happy to see more Filipino American actors get into the industry because we need to fill up our ranks. Like if people write stuff for us and there's not enough people to be there to fill those things, then we're going to be right back where we were, So I've got really great mentors and just learn from everybody that you can, even if they don't assign you a mentor. Like what I think about is like having what's called like a pace rabbit. So you think about somebody in who is like a couple of years ahead of you in their career. Even if you don't know them, like what did they do to get to that point? So you can kind of like have mentorships even if you don't have like physical mentorships. Like it's almost like a mental mentorship. That's it.
Rhandy?
Yeah, so inspiration, I think I could say na yung inspiration ko in acting is yung mga napapanood nating movies that have touched us, and especially those great performance by the good actors that were able to really connect to the viewers. Yun ang inspiration ko. Parang paano nila nagawa yon na naapektuhan ng lahat ng nanonood, but the thing is that's not them. They're just playing a character. Mm-hmm. And if I see a movie that's so effective, like an actor that's so effective in the role, I would read about it. Like I would try to look for the behind the scenes of it, yung approach nila, and then I would like try to Google like their technique. And with regard with training, I started do acting here in the US like 3 years ago. I was doing for a full year. I was sending myself to auditions, self-submit, and luckily I was booked. I was able to book, but I told myself, if I'm really gonna do this, and I know I'm gonna do this till I get old, because I love it so much. I know that I need to train. I know that I need to study. I can't just wing it, the whole time, because there's just a lot to learn and to know in the field of acting, for you to progress and be effective. So the first acting class that I did is a 6 weeks intensive with Baron Brown. And then I just finished another one with John D. Aquino, as referred by my friend Noreen. And then I know I'm just gonna continue to do that. I'm gonna find a good acting classes, acting teachers, and I know at some point if I have like a big important audition, I'm gonna contact Giovanni. So yeah, it's just that my inspirations are the great actors, that we see in the movies and the classes. It's just not gonna end.
So, maiba tayo. Ano yung mga roles na nagampanan mo na? Sabi mo Tagalog eh. Nagampanan mo na. Yan. Randy.
Usually mga father role, dad roles. And then doon sa spoke kasi iba-iba. So kasi every week there's a different team and every segment there's different topics. So iba-iba. Pero dito sa US mostly mga father role. If given a chance, I like to do something na medyo mahirap, like maybe siguro like a rapist or a serial killer, or maybe like something na medyo mentally, disabled, like like may disability ganon, something like that. Now I'm hoping at some point, I can do that. And then if I could do a horror movie na hindi naman daddy role again, it could be, but then a different team. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, so calling all, I know like there's several writers and directors watching us right now, like Romel is watching us, Joe Arciaga is watching us. Yeah, there's several of you guys watching us. So yeah, you guys heard it. Randy wants to play a serial killer role or something like, right? Okay, yeah. So that's another, that's another story to to have, right? And so going back to our question, Noreen, did you have any what was your inspiration, or did you have any mentors?
I was just really inspired nga by watching the actors of Filipinas, like just watching TV and like what Randy said, watching movies that really moved me, that made me feel, so many different emotions. As far as like acting teachers, I did South Coast Repertory for like one summer workshop. Tapos I did a workshop with John D. Aquino. So I'm learning. I'm starting to, just join more classes. I really want to learn more. But yung mentor ko, okay, this is like, she's not an actress, pero she's just like my all-around mentor na parang mama ko. Her name is Donna Freeman Powell. She's puti. She's actually not Filipina, pero she's just, I consider her my mentor because she just really inspires me, to just give it a try and don't be scared. Like she's always believed in me and has been my number one supporter and just, cheers for me and pushes me to be brave. And I'm so thankful for her. So thankful for her talaga. Kasi you feel like you can do anything if someone believes in you, You just need that one person who really, really believes in you. And it empowers you talaga. So I would consider her my mentor.
That is so true. And in terms of like your favorite movies or favorite actresses, who are they aside from Flor de Luna?
Paborito ko si Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams is one of my favorites. Sino pa ba? As far as like yung personality, si Jennifer Garner, I just love her. She's so lovable and so kind. Julia Roberts growing up, diba? She was like America's sweetheart. I loved watching Julia Roberts films. And Meg Ryan, yung mga ganun, yung feel good. I'm such a hopeless romantic. Kaya ganun yung mga type na movies na gusto ko.
Like those rom-coms. And Melissa, do you have any favorite movies or actors or mentors, or who's your inspiration?
My I was thinking my mentors, the biggest one I can think of is my high school drama teacher. I think just because that was when I was first entering this world, and he was the one I still talk to him, Mr. River. And he was just the one who made me feel super comfortable and confident on stage and everything. And then as I got older, I still think about my professors from college. I had some very specific professors that I still remember everything that they told me to since then, and even just some really good acting coaches in LA. And it made me realize teachers have such a huge impact on not only like my acting world, but just in my life in general. And it's pretty incredible. And I would say a lot of the inspiration would be the students in my classes, from just seeing when we watch each other's scenes. A lot of times we're doing the same scenes, and then choices each person makes, and then it makes what we all just learn by watching each other. I seriously think that's been my biggest education, is watching my peers and being in the same room as everyone. So I'm so excited for things to reopen and be able to go back to in-person classes again, because that was always kind of the thing that just gets me going.
That is so true. A lot of us have been inspired, and a lot of us take from our teachers, right? Like our grade school teachers or even high school teachers. Like, I remember a lot of them.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was pretty huge for me, I think.
And so, speaking of teachers, Lyndon himself is a teacher. So can you tell us what inspired you to do what you're doing now? Was there any one cathartic moment that led you to that Royce Hall moment?
I sure. And also, I'll preface this as I told Mick that I have to actually go very soon.
Mm-hmm,
So
yes.
this is my only question I'll be able to answer.
Yes, and do tell us, like, what do you want to leave behind, like your legacy, or what do you want to impart to your audience or your colleagues?
Heavy stuff. Yeah, I'll try to be concise here, but I think first, I just thoroughly enjoyed entertainment, being out there. Like my peers here can just say, just being out there. It's not about even being seen. I don't have to feed the ego, but it's just there's something about the space of doing something that elicits emotion, and in some way it's cathartic. I think that it's almost, I'll be honest, I think it's therapeutic, like heavy though, like heavy therapeutic. And so I think that it's almost a necessity for me to be a performer, because that's the way that I function, and I kind of take in my world in a way, and I'm just bringing it on. But in terms of inspiration, I'll say that Al Pacino kind of changed my life the first time I saw him. And because I had no idea that he's only like 5'7". And I'll be honest, a Filipino man, that's something to think about when you go into the industry, is your appearance and the way that you look in camera. But I didn't realize that it's also your charisma and your confidence and your skill. So I think, seeing him in Scarface and The Godfather, really, because I have that same intensity. I believe, came from a Filipino mom, but there's that same intensity can be activated within me very easily, which brings me into the antagonistic roles. The Royce Hall moment, I'll just tell the story, but that moment was extremely inspiring. And it's almost like I was watching third party of what was happening, because that was the moment that I told myself, this is it. You're the only one here in this stage that's going to do this right now. But that role was a father, a Korean father. And just to kind of give a small synopsis of it, I'm in charge of an entertainment company, a Korean entertainment company, so there's young girls involved. And I was giving the young girls to my friends and to do as they please. And so that was a very heavy role for me. But at the same time, there's just this feeling of like being able to execute, and so I feel like in terms of my inspirations, a lot of it I think is a lot of good work, a lot of affirmations from friends and family in the audience, and that you're eliciting some sort of reaction from them. And if that can change and make things better, and even as a teacher that comes out, being able to, teach a child, it's also like being able to convey something to an audience and change their lives. Like, that is so inspiring to me. And so, man, I gotta leave with that. So in terms of legacy, representation is something that we always talk about, right?
Mhm.
But I'm a firm believer that, we shouldn't get caught up into that, and we are making and paving our own ways, and we are, and this is a testament to that, everyone here being together. And so I just hope that other people will make it a possibility for them to be able to express themselves. And I think that that's the best message ever. So oh man, yeah, I gotta leave with that, guys. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Lyndon, and thank you for spending time with us tonight.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. I hope that all the audience, you guys are wonderful always for supporting Mick and all these Filipino artists and my fellow Filipino artists. I hope to see you soon, and definitely stay in touch. Okay, guys.
Yes, we will stay in touch, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.
See you in the movies.
Yes.
See you in the movies. Bye. Yes, and so speaking of people who paved the way, right? So Mr. Abe Pagtama has certainly paved the way for a lot of you guys, right?
Wow.
A lot of our Filipino American actors and actresses here in SoCal. So can you tell us, what inspired you, and was there a mentor or any one cathartic moment when when you were in the military, what, and when you got your GI Bill, what made you decide to take acting?
It's boredom. I don't really know what to do with that thing. They're giving you a free education. They're gonna give you money. So I'm always a guy who want to start something. Remembering in my younger days, we go to dance and nobody want to dance. I start the whole thing. I start dancing for everybody. When everybody is dancing already, then I left. But having a mentor, I think I could say Maku. I don't know if you any remember Maku. He's a Japanese guy who worked with Steve McQueen and all like that. And in the Philippines, I have this friend that's really he's my idol. It's called Mon Confiado. This guy can play any kind of roles, which is I like to do that. I like to change my look. I like to, when I read the script, I look at what the script is saying, then I do the character on that one. So it's kind of weird because I also do a lot of commercial. And when you do commercial, you have to be no matter what, how bad you are, you have to be a likable bad guy. So that's the way they hire you in a commercial, which I done a lot of commercials, and luckily because of commercial, I'm receiving a pension right now with a SAG and nothing like that. But I just enjoy these things that, for me, people ask me, why did you become an actor? Why do you want to be an actor? Because I want to play something that I'm not that person. I want to change things. When I do things, it's not exactly that who I am, because I'm, when you talk to me, I'm always smiling down like that. But I can play a bad guy if you want me to. You know what I mean? Do you know that? Anyway, I did a lot of bad guys role. I did a diplomat hotel in the Philippines, which was somebody Lolo Pepe. Yeah. I did a bad guy called Diplomat Hotel with Gretchen Barreto, and I was really a bad guy on that one. And of course, Lolo Pepe and all like that. And if you've seen anybody seen the flip side, also she's not really a bad guy, but it's also it's in there, very stern Filipino guy, because that's what the director wanted me to do. I just follow the direction of the director. So I can't change that. Um, for me, acting is something, I'm not stressed on that. I do that part. I get stressed when I'm doing the part, but when I get out from it, then I'm different one. I like method acting, but I don't want to stay that character when I do that. I remember at one time there's somebody asked one good actor, so how do you do that? Just, how do you become good and bad right away? It's called acting, my person, my it's called acting. You don't have to stay in that character. You know, when you go home, then you don't have to smell bad because in the movie you smell bad, but you don't have to do that. It just changes as soon as you get out from the set. You go back to your daily life and something like that. And unfortunately, I don't have a theatrical agent because when I was working, I like to maintain, my work. I have a family to do that I have to take care of. So I never really put 100% on my acting thing because for me, my number one thing is my family. I have to take care of my family. I have to support them, not like that. I know I'm a good actor, but I can't put. You gotta put 100% to your acting. You do that. You spend a lot of money and do it. But for me, my number one is my family. So I do the acting for fun, for the enjoyment, to enjoy the ride and nothing like that. So and of course, because I was doing that, I was having fun doing theatrical and all like that, and my kids become part of the entertainment industry. So my daughter is a producer for a reality TV, and I don't know if you've been watching Channel 7 ABC. They're in a commercial right now promoting Asian. My daughter's and also my grandkid is in the commercial, right? It's running right now because of May. Nothing. And my son also a writer, a director and producer also, Gib Pagtama. He's my best buddy, by the way. He is my friend. So both of my kids are my friend. So, being an idol, not like that. Thank you for letting me be part of your life right now. But enjoy the ride. Have fun doing it. But I know a lot of actors and all like that. They're singles and all like that because they put all their time in the acting field, the entertainment. But there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. If you want to do that. But we are Filipinos and we like to have a family and we have to enjoy that. And I want to congratulate all the millennials because now it's open. A lot of roles as being done right now. For me right now, I'm a little bit, I used to have an audition almost every week. Now I get lucky if I get one audition a month now. But it's fun. It's still, I enjoy helping out people, opening things for you. So yes, if when you're younger, you have to go to acting classes to learn how to do that. If you're older, maybe you already have the experience and all these things. But when you're younger, take the classes that you have to do, and really enjoy it. And network. Number one is networking. Right now, if you don't network, you're not gonna get any job because nobody knows you, or at least if they know about somebody use just like in the case on me. At one time, they said if Abe Pagtama is not in the movie, it's not a Fil-Am movie. So Jokoy, you're making a movie right now, so I don't know if you can. So anyway, support Jokoy. He's most of his character in the movie right now called Easter Sunday are Filipinos. And also, oh, by the way, anybody in San Francisco right now, make sure. In a way, it's sold out. It's called Lumpia with Vengeance. I'm in the movie also, and of course, the Basco Brothers has a movie in San Francisco also right now. So,
Yes.
let's help out this other. If there's any roles for somebody, send it to somebody that might fit that character. You know, don't be afraid to give it up, because who knows? They might like Giovanni here is always refer me to somebody. Thank you, Giovanni. And by the way, Giovanni is a good teacher also. She has acting classes, nothing like that. And I don't know if you remember, Giovanni. I met you a long time ago. You were hosting Mr. Philippines or something like that. I don't you remember that? Yeah, that's when I met you. So I don't forget. So yeah, keep out, have fun, enjoy what you're doing. It's nothing like having fun doing what you're doing. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Kuya Abe. And so going back to what Kuya Abe kind of touched upon, as an actor, you do so many things, right? And for people like us on the outside, just watching, and we're the spectators, we don't really know what's happening behind the scenes, right? Or and so can you give us a rundown of what you do as actors? I know Kuya Abe touched upon those things, and then Rhandy also touched upon those things a little bit. And so can you describe to us what you do? Like what are the preparations that you do? It's more than just going out there and acting, like Abe said, right? It's networking, it's getting yourself out there known by so many people who could potentially refer you to someone, right? Or to take you to refer you to someone who knows of an audition or something like that.
Yes.
So can any one of you give us an idea of what being an actor is like?
I hate networking. Can I just say that? I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Like I like, this is okay for me, but like, the networking where you go to parties and you meet people, I can't do that. I'm like an introvert. But to give like an overview of what you do, get good at your craft, and then realize that you're the product. So once you realize that you're the product, you got to get headshots, you got to get on the sites, you got to self-submit all the time until you build a resume. Once you build a resume, then you can submit yourself to agents, and agents or managers. And then you just audition as much as you can, because I think the statistic is it's like 1 booking to 40 auditions when you start. And then when you book something, when you book it, when it films, when it airs, you let people know. Then it's not like a creepy way of networking. And then you like, for me, the way that I network, I go to educational events, because then I'm learning something, or I do things like this, like panels like this. But like parties, I can't do those. Yeah. And just like other stuff, like for people that are actors, unless you're super, super lucky, most of us have secondary jobs. Like I teach, like Abe says, like I coach kids, teens, and adults who are getting into the industry. I specialize in sitcom. And like I also learn production stuff. So not only do I do that, I do like, pitch decks, and, I work for producers. I do crew stuff. I write, I direct, because you have to be a multi-hyphenate, especially in this day and age.
Rhandy?
I agree with everything that Giovanni said, and I'll idagdag ko lang is, when you're actually filming a scene, if you already booked a part and you're filming your scene, for me, the important part really is to memorize your lines really, really well, very well, kasi kasi once you're doing the scene and hindi ka sure dun sa lines, number one, you have to memorize the lines as a respect dun sa sumulat nung story. Kasi there's a reason why they're using a certain word, they're using a beat, a pause, or whatever is in that script. And then second, as a respect to the director who booked you, you got to make sure that you know your lines. And third, and the most important thing, I think, as an actor, is once you know your lines very well, there's just a lot of things that could happen in the scene that are just gonna look authentic. That's gonna be natural because then you're not thinking about it anymore. You're not thinking about the lines. You are the lines. So yung reaction mo, you know how you're gonna portray the character, yung interaction mo with the other actor, it's just gonna be a lot easier. It's doing yourself a favor if you memorize the lines really, really well. And of course, this has different techniques that you can prepare, you know, yourself and your character. But for me, ang isang, you know, masasuggest ko for all the actors out there, yeah, memorize that lines. You know, like if you're eating by yourself, try to say the lines in your head. If you're in the shower, I do that. If I'm in the shower, I say it out loud, not just in my head because no one's gonna hear me anyways. So I say it out loud para maging, you know, masanay ako dun sa how the lines are being delivered. So yeah.
So Noreen, do you have any other things to add to what Giovannie and Rhandy said?
For me, same thing that what Rhandy said. Kailangan talaga, memorize mo yung lines kasi, if you don't have it memorized, you can't really concentrate on being your character. Tapos, for me, like, well, I have a lot of mom roles. So, like, Rhandy has a lot of dad roles. Actually, we're in a lot of movies together as mom and dad. Pero,
but we're filming another one in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, so we're working on one right now. Pero we are in another one that's coming out. It's called Zeus by Chris Soriano, and magkapatid kami doon. We're brother sister, so that's a little different. But I
see the resemblance. I'm just kidding.
And you really have to put yourself into the character, and I think it helps for me because I consider myself like an empath. Like it's easy for me to kind of feel what other people are feeling, parang ganon. So that helps me a lot with my character. Ano pa ba? Oh, like with the networking, I understand what you mean, Giovannie. I don't really like parties and stuff like that. Pero as far as like joining a group, like with Fil-Am Creative dati, that's where I met you, Tito Abe, no? So Fil-Am Creative. Tapos, I met networking as far as like keeping in touch with the people you work with, diba? Kasi like with Rhandy and I met at an audition. Actually, audition din yon for me to be his wife, but I didn't get it. but I auditioned to be the narrator and I got that. But because of that, Rhandy and I kept in touch, and it was always like a dream of mine to work with him. And it came true. So when he found out that he needed a role for a wife, he would reach out to me, and vice versa. I told him about Melissa's project. I was the one that told him hey, you need to audition for this. So ganon. Like you have to have good relationships with people.
Yeah.
You need to be kind, and yeah.
I still owe you Noreen, I still owe you a halo because of that project with Melissa. I mean, a lot of dreams came true, man.
I know.
On that project with Melissa. Oh my goodness.
I was so happy
my
you
goodness.
did, Noreen.
It all worked out. Oo, sinabi ko sa kanila, Rhandy. Kasi guys, Rhandy was actually partnered up with Princess Punsalan. Yay, Princess! Yeah! And so I know that was a dream of his from a long time now. So I reached out to Princess and I told her about it, and the stars aligned. It was meant to be talaga. So that's what I'm saying. Network in that sense now, have good relationships with people, and keep in touch with them if you work on projects with them, and treat others the way you want to be treated, diba? Like if you share, then they'll share with you. Parang ganon lang. Yun. That's it.
And Melissa?
I just wanted to jump off that and say thank you so much, Noreen, because Noreen actually basically connected like the two people that played my parents, Princess and Rhandy, and they were amazing. But the biggest thing that I would say whenever someone's like starting acting or anything is when I is to still live your life, I think is the biggest thing to remember, and don't take things so personally because there's so much that's out of your control. And it took, years for me to learn that, because you move here and then you give it your all in every single audition. You pour your heart out. You're like wearing your heart on your sleeve every time you perform. And a lot of times the casting director, wasn't even looking up from their paper or whatever it is. And the thing is, you can't control certain aspects of it. All you can control is if you were prepared, like Rhandy was saying, your lines, you've studied your character, you truly don't hold anything back, and the rest is out of your control. And I think understanding that and truly being okay with that is huge to stay sane in this industry. And also another thing, I would be so afraid to leave town because I was afraid of missing out on an audition or making my agents mad or whatever it is. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing you have to still live your life and still have fun and do everything you want to do. And as even though acting is our therapy, as everyone was saying, and it's absolutely true, I think you have to almost separate your like actual life sometimes from your acting life, if that makes sense, just to stay sane. So that's my thing.
And so speaking of that, we always have to take care of ourselves, right? And it's become a thing now, self-love, right? And self-care. And so what do you do in terms of self-care? How do you keep yourself sane?
I think just like going out to nature a lot is a big one for me, or going on runs and seeing family and friends. I have a really cute dog. He's a wiener dog, Dachshund, who is just, you cannot be upset if you're looking at him. But also just knowing I did a great job in this audition and I'm proud of myself, and I'm going to leave it out there, and the rest is up to, however it lines up properly. So just really giving myself the assurance of, I know I was prepared. I know I did a good job. Boom. Leave it on the table.
Mm-hmm. And so speaking of auditions, we have Gabriel Gilmore, who said he met Rhandy Torres in an audition. So he's saying hi. It's always great bumping into Rhandy during auditions. And so do you have anything to add to that, Rhandy? Or Gio, like in terms of self-care, or Kuya Abe, Noreen?
Yeah, like I teach a lot of kids, and one of my biggest things is their mental health, because this industry is super toxic, or it could be super toxic. I have to make sure that when the child enters the industry, and this is for all actors, that you love it. Like you love the process of acting, that you love the process of figuring out who this character is, because that will sustain you. Once you like know what your why is, like that carries you through. And that's actually very, it's parallel to like finding your why in the scene. That will carry you through the scene. Your objective will. But also like just taking a break from it, knowing that it's okay to not be go and hustle all the time. I think that's really important. I think it's important to know that emotions are transient. That's one of the things that I try to teach the kids. Like you can get really deep and dark into a character, but then you got to learn how to let it go. And what are the self-care practices to let go of like a really dark or really hard or really traumatized character? That has been one of my biggest life lessons that acting has taught me, how to let go of the trauma that we store in our body. Because when you're acting and you're really free, you have your lines memorized, you are living for that moment. You know what I mean? And you got to learn how to let go. So whether it's like a salt bath, being ridiculous, doing like a dance off by yourself in the living room, that is also self-care too.
And speaking of dances, I saw this short BTS like behind the scenes clip of Rhandy dancing, and he's a really good actor, right? Right, Rhandy? And can you tell us about that experience?
Oh, is this the Watch Your Step music video?
Is that the one?
Yeah, okay, I
You were
think
in the
that one.
gym.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the Watch Your Step music video. It's a music video by Disclosure and Khalees. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun filming that. What happened there is that I was asked by the producer to come in as one of the background performer, and then she asked me to if I have kids to bring my kids along with me, and they're gonna pay them separate. So I'm like, okay, of course, I'll bring them, and it's gonna be fun, to have them in the shoot so they can see how it's being done. But then when I got on the set, the director asked me. He said that, "Hey Randy, do you know how to line dance?" So I was like, "Wait, not really," but I told him, "Yeah, of course, of course I know how to line dance." And then he said, "Okay, well, since you know how to line dance, I'm gonna make you the main tito in the music video." So I'm like, okay, thank you. And so when he left the dressing room, I YouTube right away how to line dance. So I went in the back. I asked my daughter, so because she's a cheerleader, she's a dancer. So I told her, "Hey, Paulette, I'm gonna practice this step." I was playing "Achy Breaky Heart" because I think that's the national anthem of line dancers. So I was playing that and I was practicing. So come time that they needed me on the set to do the dance, I was warmed up already, and luckily, they liked it. So guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, go to YouTube, type "Watch Your Step" by Disclosure. It's fun because it's all Filipino in there, and it's just a good music video. Filipino cultures was highlighted.
Yeah, so magaling pala talaga
Walang
sumayaw
Tagalog
si
yan, ah.
Randy. Ilang seconds yun. Niloko lang. Yeah, so magaling pala
Matagal-tagal
talaga
yun, kaya nga
sumayaw
meron
si
akong
Randy.
Kleenex dito just in case duguin yung ilong ko eh.
Boy Scout. And so, like for Abe, Kuya Abe, do you have any? We're sure you have a lot of memorable experiences, right? So, what's the most memorable experience you've had so far?
I think when I did the commercial, Pepsi commercial, because it was a Super Bowl commercial, and I got paid good. Unfortunately, I was upstaged by Janet Jackson that year, 2006. That's one that really paid good for one day work. It ran for 2 years and all like that. So yeah, since then I did maybe 10, 15 national commercials. That's the most memorable one that acting wise or getting paid wise. But that doesn't mean I don't do non-union. When it's a friend is doing a movie. Um, yeah. The reason why I'm still in this industry is because it's a therapy. It's fun thing to do. I don't think too much about the things I didn't get because you get a lot of no's. You get a lot of driving and they never call you up. And it's part of the business. The longer you stay in this business, you're not gonna book everything that you're gonna go for. It changes things. It depends what the century you're in. I started in 1973, and a lot of you are not even born yet. so that's how long I've been in the industry in Hollywood. But also, I also do memorable things doing movies in the Philippines. It's quite different, also. Don't expect too much when you go to the Philippines. You do it because you're having fun doing it. Don't always think about or am I gonna get the lead role, or you're never gonna get that a lot. You might, there's a lot of memorable small parts that I have that I can really be named. "Hey, that's Abe," that's Abe. But as long as you are working and getting the audition, you should thank God that you are still there. Somebody remember you. And regarding networking, I do it because I'm also a producer. I have to, make friends to a lot of people that has money. so, so, that's what I do. It's not always fun, but it's part of life. Life is not a perfect thing. It's always change. That's the reason why you're an actor. You're not playing yourself. You're not superstar that you only could play one part. I like being an actor in the United States because we are trained to be a character actor. That's one thing. It's not like some other countries. I'm not gonna mention anything, but you're only gonna get the part. What the media or the entertainment industry uh, uh, pick you up to do that part, and after that, there's nothing on you because now what they call nalaos na, hindi na sikat ng ganon. So for me, it's memorable. Everything that, especially now that my kid is also in the industry, I never told them they become a nurse like their mom, but their industry, they didn't realize when they were seeing me doing the stage, they were just, "Oh, my dad is having fun." "Yeah, but you don't make money here." But I never told them that. So for the millennial, that's people getting in industry right now. Yeah, train yourself to do different things because it's opening. A lot of writers is doing right now. A lot of Filipino producers doing right now. So it's easier to get in. Actually, it's easier to get in now than when I started. Before, it started 73 years ago, 1973. I mean, there wasn't anything for us. Why I did it, I don't know. Maybe I was crazy. Yeah, I think a little bit of us being an actor into that. We don't have that kind of dream like people coming from the Philippines. So I'm gonna go to the state and make a lot of money. So I want to become a nurse so I can make a lot of money. For us, growing up here, I won't say I grew up here. I was born in Hawaii, but I grew up in the Philippines. So I can do a lot of stuff, different things. I speak Tagalog, I speak Ilocano, I speak Cebuano, and a little bit of Spanish. So just enjoy it. When you get in this field, make sure you are trained. You got to be trained because you can't be unless you are a basketball player or football player. Then you can just play yourself because people are already following you. But if you're a true actor, learn to be a character actor. That's all I could say.
Mm-hmm. That is so awesome. We've gotten so many tips tonight, and we're not only carrying a lot of like golden nuggets, but we're also carrying golden bars, right? And there's so much learning to be had with everything about acting and going into it. And but what's your top advice for those people who want to get into the acting industry? Anybody?
Okay. Yeah. Number one is that you really have to have the passion of doing this because there's a lot of negative things that could be in your front. And like Giovanni said, learn to take things the way they are. Understand that's the reality of the industry. I'm just gonna tell you about 130,000 SAG members in LA, probably closer than that. there's only 2,000 people are working. So the chances that you if you think that the white people are complaining or the black people are complaining that they're not getting roles, it's the same thing for everybody else. Us Asian is the same thing. But the main thing is that now there are more Filipinos that were more recognized, and if you can get a nurse character, why not? Because that's what they look at us. We're frontliners. But enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the process. Don't think about the negative things that are gonna happen, because you will. That's the reason why I'm a good businessman or salesman, because I get a lot of no things in acting. So, and I'm an entrepreneur. That's the way I survive. I'm an investor, entrepreneur, but also I have this thing about being in the industry, but being an actor. So that's my, getting out in the stress. When I'm an acting, it depends on the rules that I have. I get stressed sometimes because there's the character there, but I'm also, like I said, I'm an actor. I can get out from that character easily because I'm trained that way. I don't stay in that character. If I smell bad in the scene, that doesn't mean I don't take a bath when I go home. Makeup can do that for me. For the people that want to get in, get your training. It's very important, because when you give your script, you learn from that script what that script is trying to tell you, who you are, and portray that character as much as you can. And also learn how to improv. Improv is very important, because especially I did a lot of things. In a commercial, you go in there and you don't even know what you're reading. They give you sentences, and then they will say, "Oh, I want you to do this. I want you to do that." That's different thing from what you read, but they're telling you, "Can you take directions when you do that?" So learn how to do that. Whatever you read, you memorize, they might change that real quick, because that happens a lot in the set. Don't get pissed off when you memorize 10 pages and something like that, and then they change it. So that happens a lot too. So just have to, okay, I'll do my best. Whatever you tell me, because it's really nice to memorize the whole thing, because when you memorize the whole thing, you can go anywhere you want you to do. Like when you shoot something, it could be I have a scene. It's the beginning of the movie, but they shoot that at the end of the movie. So that happens a lot, especially in a movie. So learn how to take what they're giving you, take the direction they're giving you, and you can get that by going to an acting school. And the best acting school is really working in the set. So, okay, I have to pay another one. Well, then I get a job. Hey, I can learn more in the set itself. So that's you take it as it goes. Yep.
I'll chime in with advice, practical advice to people that want to get into the industry. Understand what your wheelhouse characters are. Like, what are the ones that you can play that nobody else can do it like you can, because then you can hone your skills on that. Like for me, I can't do sexy. I am awkward AF. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna play the sexy girl. It's just not gonna happen. So understand where the industry sees you. That way that you can cater your headshots and any other marketing material that way, and you can understand what shows to target when you actually do your marketing. And then conversely, write your own stuff. I am so sick of people that just put Filipinos into this box. So the parts that you want to play, write that ish and produce it, because the costs of production have come down. And there are an infinite amount of stories to tell where we can be the leads, you know? I'm just saying, just want to inspire people out there to start writing and creating the stories that they want to see, that they want to be in, that they want to tell, you know, for the next generation.
Produce
So,
your own movies.
Yes. And Melissa, do you have anything to add?
I wanted to jump up on Giovanni's. That it's absolutely true, because like I was saying earlier, you only have control of so much. First of all, the other thing is, if you're going to do this because you love it, which I think everyone said, because it's not all glamour that some people might think. You have to actually want to do this because you're passionate about storytelling. And that being said, jumping up what Giovanni was saying, you have to actually create your own stories in order to sometimes be able to still exercise your passion, because other than that, it can be a lot of auditioning without results or whatever it is. And if you want to actually have your therapeutic moments and be able to work, sometimes it is creating your own work, and you can produce for not that much money. Like, you can produce very cheaply, and as long as you have networked, and so it all comes together, as long as you've networked well enough and you can still pull people you've worked with from different positions, and people like you and people like working with you, you can bring them all back together and feed them really well, and they would love to make a movie with you. So it makes it even more fun. It's a passion project that everyone's working together on, and it makes it more special in that way. So I second that. Create your own projects, 100%.
That is so true. And before we go to Rhandy or Noreen, I just wanted to tell everybody that we do have a raffle. So if you want to join the raffle, #raffle now. There is a 10-second delay with the feed, but so if you want to join the raffle, #raffle now. And we do have 3 prizes, 3 raffle prizes that we're giving away. Yeah, and so Noreen and Rhandy, any last pieces of advice or tips? Number 1 advice for those who want to get into the acting industry.
I think like what everybody said, take classes, so to get more experience. At saka, Rhandy, I remember you telling me this before. He actually, I asked him for a lot of advice, but we talked about student films, joining student films, kasi it helps get your experience. Kahit na walang bayad, it is still so much fun, and you get to get better and better at your craft. So I would recommend, joining classes, joining student films, just getting to know people, and like what Melissa said, make your own. Diba? You can create your own, like what Chris Soriano did. Rhandy, you can talk about more about that. But yeah, if there's a role that you want, why not make it, diba? Your own. So yeah, I hope I get to do a film with all of you again. Melissa and Giovannie did. That's it.
And I hope to see all of you in person finally someday soon, right? And so, Rhandy, do you have anything to add to what everybody has said?
I just want to add that for everyone who wants to do acting and it's like they have no idea on how to start or what to do, just trust the process. The process being, yung nangyari sa akin is I created a casting account and then I self-submitted. Because it's gonna ask you, yung role na is gonna fit you, and then you're gonna get those kinds of notifications, and then you just self-submit, and if luckily you get an audition, you just give it your all. Even if you don't get it, it's still a great thing because you're able to practice, one, acting, and second is being in an audition room, because the more you do it, the better you become. And it's just like if you're a basketball player, you train, you go to the gym, you train, it's the same thing in doing auditions. You know, the more you do it, the better you become in doing it. And then you're gonna be more comfortable being in an audition. And then, you know, just keep doing it. If you book, like what Noreen said, if you booked a student role, go for it, do it. Some of them doesn't pay, some does. Some have big budget that it's surprisingly big for a student film. You're lucky if you get those, but if not, still do it, because what you're gonna get from those student films are your demo reel, and those are really important if you're starting, because your agent will tell you build on your demo reel, because that's what we're gonna be able to submit to casting agents, like the big casting directors, you know, for TV, for films. If you don't have that, well, then there's like what Kuya Abe said, there's thousands of actors auditioning for one role, and that's true. That's actually true. And some of them will just not like, okay, I don't have time to look at this because they don't have a demo reel. So collect those demo reels, and just, if you get a no, that's okay. You know, just don't feel bad. Just keep on going. And at the same time, while you're doing it, you're learning, you're studying classes, and just repeat and trusting the process, because you never know, you know, like some big roles that I've gotten. Like one is, you know, Melissa wrote that story that we did with Princess Ponsolan. It was submitted to HBO Visionary, and hopefully, you know, we get picked. And and then after that, I think it's gonna be submitted to a lot of film festivals, also an Asian Pacific film festival as well. So she wrote that, and then my first time being directed by Romel Andaya, which is awesome. And most importantly, I was able to be in a scene with Princess Ponsalan. It was a dream come true. So yeah, so just keep doing it, and then you never know who's watching. You never know what role you're gonna get. There's this role that I got directed by Chris Soriano, which is doing the rounds right now on TV, on different news networks. It's gonna come out I believe in 2 months. It's the title of the movie is Zeus. It's as timely as it can be. You know, it's Asian hate, but you know, it's a great movie. I hope everybody would check it out. I hope everybody would watch it and support it, because there's an awesome message in that movie. So Chris Soriano, thank you so much for giving me a chance, and I'm pretty sure Noreen feels the same way as well. And you know, good luck on our film. I know he's watching, Chris Soriano.
And so we do, while we're waiting for everybody to put hashtag raffle on the comments, we have some reels to show, right? So let's see who we have first. It's gonna be a surprise.
Giovannie Espiritu was one of the stars of Middleton Christmas, in which a character was written specifically for her in the holiday romance film.
This is my Auntie Iris, the COO of Comtech Singapore. You must be Mr. Turner.
Yes.
Miss D'Angelo has been expecting you. Is everything okay?
Another day, another disaster. You've been given lots of opportunities to work other places. Why did you come back?
Same reason you did. This place is special. Sorry, cute video. I'm gonna lock the door behind me. I'll be right back, I promise. She claims that she and her party were attacked, that there was something out there. She's pretty upset.
Call St. Mary's Hospital and ask them to get someone out here, and then call the police.
Copy that. ID, please.
I had a better one, but cop took it away. You know how that is. Y'all didn't happen to clip off any toes, did you?
No, this was a simple elective procedure, but she's been heavily sedated, so she may not be her usual self. Seriously? On the merry-go-round. He was just there. Parker! What's going on, Mr. Booth?
There's just an investigation going on, okay, Rose?
Shut it! He's shooting everyone.
Come on.
Everyone.
Right there.
Pressure on my wound while I check some other areas, all right?
I think that we should start a lady ghost hunting company and call it, drumroll please.
Ugh, just tell us.
Paranormal Huntresses. Sandra, if you go out there might be a cop waiting for you. I suggest that you stay here and we can make sure that the coast is clear. It's gonna be fine. That was Suzanne.
What does she want?
She wanted to talk to you.
Why?
I don't know. You don't need to talk to her. She doesn't deserve your talking.
Was she sad?
She cackled.
What does that even mean?
She laughed. She didn't laugh. Did you guys see that? With my hair? Dude, check out my hair. Oh my god!
Were the bumps firm? Were they non-tender? Were they freely movable?
They're just bumps. Dr. Pratt,
What?
we have the chest x-rays back from Mr. Hayslip.
Who?
He has a huge left hilar mass.
Any hemoptysis?
Cough's chronic, but getting worse. Dr. Pratt, where do I turn in my PPD results?
Employee health, second floor.
Barkeep, got some thirsty students here. I'll have a beer.
Me too. Light? I'm not Polly. I just want to date freely. You're the one that set me up with her so that you could spy on Alex. She keeps texting me, and I don't know how to make it stop.
That is so awesome.
Thanks, guys.
That is so cool. And so let's do the next one.
Where the money at? You don't speak no English? Hey, what you rip off my mask
Now we in
for?
this together. Shake your head fast.
Look, we don't need no cash. Where the
That's on me.
Bitcoin at? What? Where the Bitcoin, bitch?
Bitcoin, baby.
Coin. Cryptocurrency. Ripple.
It's over here.
How you Asian but not smart? Demoted.
Sabi ko sa'yo, wag mong papakialaman yung bata.
Hindi ba kapatid ko siya?
Kapatid mo nga siya, pero ako pa rin ang tatay niyo!
Tataya kita pero duwag ka!
Talikod!
Ayoko!
Tumalikod ka sabi!
Ayoko na!
Huwag po, tay!
Tay, respond ka sa 2020 census.
Ako.
Every 10 years, the census works to count every person in the U.S. It is used to help distribute public funds for things like roads.
At saan mo naman natutunan yan? Sa school?
Opo.
Gotta stay hydrated out here.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? You can't do that here.
I'm sipping. Bro, come here. For real, straight up.
I know you're planning to move out. But I need you to help around the house more often. Your mom?
What about mom?
Sandali lang.
Mr. Marcos has left this country.
Wala na si Marcos!
What I witnessed during these last few days assures me that the Philippines is in.
Ria, where have you been? Who's this?
This is my boyfriend, Devante. We were just down the street by the...
What did I say about you going over here to this area? You don't need to be around these hoodlums.
A masked gunman robbed two people and then went on the run.
Somebody was home, somebody had been watching them and forced their way into their home and attacked them, which this was just really odd.
In-order niya ang militar na barilin ng mga nagpoprotesta. Marami lang mamamatay. Para ano? Hindi ko na kayang ganito. Pagod na ako eh. Kinukulong mo ako dito sa bahay. Gusto ko namang mabuhay, Tana.
Detectives have a solid launching point to begin their investigation.
We certainly wanted to talk to him a little bit more about why he was at the house. We felt
while detectives wait for confirmation of Dung's alibi, they research every murder they can find involving white paint in hopes of discovering what that paint could mean.
Maria! Maria! Maria!
Maria! Maria! Maria!
Pero ang totoo niyan, mas hindi ko mapapatawad ang sarili ko kung may nangyaring masama sa anak natin.
Oh, really?
Oh, really what? What? May bisita tayo. Hayaan niyo siya magsalita. David, do you go to church?
No, sir, not anymore.
Ang dami-dami mga squatter dito sa Maynila.
Busy kasi si Imelda eh. Kakaparte gabi-gabi sa disco. Pasayaw si George Hamilton.
Alam mo, narinig ko, yung mga MP, i-impeach na lang si Marcos.
Wala namang mangyayari sa kanya. Habang kontrolado niya yung buong gobyerno.
10 taon? Para lang sabihin na natanggap nila yung application? Eh, ano bang akala nila? Sabik na sabik tayong pumunta sa Amerika. This will be interesting.
Are you a beer or wine guy?
I hate the taste of beer.
Yeah.
You?
Actually, ever since I discovered Pinot Noir in Sonoma, it's the only wine I drink.
I love Pinot Noir.
Stop! You're lying!
I really love it. It's my favorite.
Oh my gosh! Weird.
Well, cheers to your excellent taste.
Cheers to our excellent taste.
All right.
Aww. How to be you po. and
Wow.
so Abe was like saying he wants to be like Rhandy when he grows up. we have another one.
And it has long grass for the hair with a hole through it. Ano to, ma? Pangit. It's really ugly. Hello?
Can you
Ma?
hear me?
I can't hear you, Mom.
Darna, don't touch it. It holds an evil spirit. The baby. Get the baby.
No! 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 No!
And there's a lot of opportunities there because NYS Film School is one of the best.
I left the Philippines so that I can pursue a new opportunity here too in the States.
I'm not leaving the country.
Diyos ko po, mabuti pa. But still, you're moving on to a new opportunity. Did you know that I came here to America to pursue something else? Nursing wasn't my first choice. But it pays the bills.
What do you want to do before nursing?
Ay, we should go na.
We have more exciting bad news. UFOs have been sighted flying over different countries. Our government has not depicted what the nature of these phenomena is, but one thing is for certain, we are all going to die. Blah, 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 blah.
Ang gusto ko lang naman, magkasama pamilya natin. Kahit magsalo-salo sa pagkain. Hindi ko alam kung sino mas matigas na kokote sa yung dalawa eh.
Listen!
Ano?
Patawarin mo ako. Hindi naman ako perpekto eh. Oo. Sinabi kong hindi ko siya mapapatawad.
Okay lang. Lahat naman tayo nagkakamali, di ba? Kaya nandito tayo para sa isa't isa. Siguraduhin na lang natin na maging mabuti tayo magulang para balang araw maging mabuti din siyang ehemplo para sa atin. Tanong ko lang, mahal mo pa rin ba siya?
Maybe it's in the closet.
Tala Marie Iglesias Reyes, don't walk away from me when I'm still talking to you. Have you forgotten who's paying for your tuition?
No, I haven't forgotten.
Madali kong bawiin ang tuition mo na babayaran ko.
Yeah, right. You can't do that.
Ganun ha. Okay.
Good. Me too. It shouldn't be this easy though, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, we can't possibly be this perfect for each other.
Oh, easy now. It's only been like 5 minutes.
You're right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
There you go. Now where were we?
Francisco,
Hindi ko mapigilan na mangamba ng dahil sa'yo sa araw-araw. Nagugunit akong kinalalagyan mo at ang iyong kaligtasan. Ang lahat ay lubusan na. Hindi ko na kaya. Muntik na ako mamatay nung nakaraan.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun, you guys. That was
Yes.
so fun watching. And like, yeah, I'm a fan of all of you, and I'm a fan of the love team. Randy nor Randy. I feel like just watching, right? And someone said like you should all take out the popcorn and chocolate, of course. Right? And so for those people who are watching, before you all take out your popcorn and chocolates, we do have a raffle. And so for those people who entered the raffle, this is it. Like you've been waiting for this moment. Yeah, and so our first raffle prize is 1 stress away roll-on essential oil, and our second and third raffle prices are 3 facial masks, 1 headband, 1 wet wipe set. So that's 1 whole set. That's from the Hi-Fi Hedgehog, and that's actually from me. So that's my gift shop. Yeah, so Randy. So Arvin, are we ready? I know Arvin is out here. There you go. So guys, are you ready for a raffle? Everyone's muted. Everyone's muted. Okay, so let's do Arvin, do you have sound effects? Drum roll, please. So this is raffle prize number 1. And the winner is Romel Andaya. Congratulations. That is so awesome. Yay.
Yay, Romel!
Romel! Yes, and thank you for bringing a lot of our guests into your production, right? And thank you also for introducing me to a number of them. And so the second raffle prize is the face mask set with wet wipes and a headband. So speaking of self-care and self-love, like these are things you may want to use for, having your own self-care moment, right? Self-care session. Okay, so this is raffle prize number 2 goes to Melissa Jane Rodriguez. Congratulations. Congratulations, Missy.
Thanks. Me and Ramel, partners.
Yes. There's like a trend happening. And so raffle prize number 3. Let's do this. Ayan, Kuya Abe, congratulations! You're the raffle prize number 3 winner.
Yeah!
Yay! That is so awesome. So congratulations to all of our raffle winners. Romel Andaya, Melissa Rodriguez, and Kuya Abe Pagtama. Yeah, we're going to put you in a group chat so we can all figure out how we're going to get the raffle prizes to you. Whether it's by mail or, meetup or whatever. Yeah, and so thank you so much to all of our guests tonight. We've had such a wonderful evening, and we definitely learned a lot from our guests. And like what I said earlier, we got so many golden bars, right? I mean, really heavy golden bars. Oh my goodness. And just a reminder, tomorrow at 8:00 p.m., we have Q York. That's the rap group, the super duo rap group originally from Queens, New York. But Noah Lazarus, he's actually here in LA, and Flavamatic, his partner, is actually in Toronto. So we're going to be bi-coastal. Yeah, and so that's tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Watch out for that one. And thank you so much once again to all of our viewers on Kumu. I know we have some viewers from Kumu, and we're on Twitch, Facebook page, of course, and also our YouTube channel. Thank you so much to everybody, and to our sponsors, Olivia Kitoko of O Skincare. Don't forget to watch Miss USA, and you'll see Olivia Kitoko there on Sunday. We have Formula M Creatives. We have our raffle sponsors, Oily, Happy, and Healthy. That's Teresa Valmoni, and of course the Hi-Fi Hedgehog gift shop, which is my gift shop. And we do have Nick Diaz Presents merch. Oh my goodness, yeah. So we're gonna be coming out with merch, and I'm actually wearing a T-shirt. It's a Nick Diaz shirt right there. It's shine bright like a star, like you guys are. So I actually wore this for you guys. Yeah, because all of you are stars. And yeah, continue to shine on so brightly like the stars that you are. And so good night, everybody, and see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yay.
Bye. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Bye.
Bye. See you guys later.
Everyone.
How does one go from this to this? Or from this to this? Real people, real transformation. Amazing life-changing results are achieved every day at O Skin Med Spa. Let Miss O show you the way. Your very own before and after experience awaits. Call now for a free consultation. Visit oskinmedspa.com for more details.
What's up, y'all? It's your Pada KL Noah Lazarus of Q York, and I'm inviting everyone out there out to Nick Diaz Presents Jam Sessions featuring yours truly, my group, Q York, this Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and May 15th, Saturday, 11 a.m. Philippines time, live streaming to you via Facebook, Kumu, YouTube. You tune in. See y'all there. It's gonna be on and popping. Ow!
like that sometimes? A monsoon?
Yes. Hell yeah. We are a storm.
I'm the sunflower girl. For me, but you aren't mine to keep.
Hi, my name is Jenna Winawalan in the Philippines. I'm Remedios
Martinez, and I'm going to be presenting 2 illustrations. Is the bamboo where Maganda was born from.
It's been ticking. It starts